We are in the heart of the Gulch. My name is Tony Mendoza, but as you can see from behind me, we're not in the studio today. We're at the MCC, the Music City Center here in Nashville, Tennessee. CMA Fest 2026, and you got my favorite person on the show right now. We got MŌRIAH. What's up?
Listen, y'all think you're with Tony Mendoza, but you're really with the Charro version of Tony Mendoza. Look at the fit.
For real. Thank you. I wore it just for you. I knew that you're going to be wearing something red. I don't know how I knew.
We could play a show right now. What, do you play an instrument?
I do not. No. This is my instrument.
You could. Well, then
it's it.
BGVs. Let's go.
I can harmonize.
Well, let's do it.
Go.
Nice life.
Oh God.
In a double wide.
Oh God. No. I'm not doing that. You scared me because you went an octave too high. If you'd went an octave lower, I would have got you. But no.
Nice life.
All right. Before we get started on our interview here, I gotta know,
Mr. Mendoza, I've missed you.
It's been a minute, hasn't it? A year.
Yes, a whole year.
Talk to me about the fits, because the fits you've been throwing has been giving the internet a fit because they've been looking so damn good. So I remember seeing you, it was ACMA? There's a lot of different awards you've done.
Yeah, you kind of combined the ACMs and CMAs in one foul swoop. Well done.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I got to give credit where credit's due. I work with an incredible stylist I have for the last 2 years. Her name is Stephanie. And she was originally based in New York. She just moved to Nashville. And working with her, it was the first time that I felt that I could confidently step on a red carpet with a sombrero de charro. Because that has to be a whole look. You can't just casually wear a sombrero on a red carpet. So shout out to Stephanie. She's now in Nashville. If you need a stylist, call my girl, Stephanie J. Styles.
Shout out to Stephanie. I think about how visual you are. Because a lot of the things that you have, whether it is your albums or just a release, right? Like, first of all, the duet that you have for Superwoman, mind-blowing. Who are the two amazing women that were there that were doing that?
Yeah, first I released the version of Super Mujeres with Ana Barbara, who is basically like what Celine Dion is to Canada, Ana Barbara is to Mexico. And so Ana Barbara, I'm so thankful that you featured on that version. Thank you so much. And then I just released a version with my girls, Maggie Rose, and then Becca from Girl Named Tom. We performed that live at a TED Talk event.
Kidding.
And yeah, so what's kind of crazy is like,
I thought it was the rhyming almost. It
no,
sounded so beautiful.
It was at Category 10, and we performed that song live in the middle of my talk. And I've always wanted to give a TED Talk. I'm going to be honest with you. From the time I was like 14, I was like, maybe one day when I'm a professor and I'm 62, I will have something to share on that TED stage. That's what blew my mind. I was not ready for that invitation at all. And so when they asked me to come give a talk, I went straight into prep mode. You and I are alike. We like to have things prepared. We like our notes. We like everything to be like ready. I was ready for my 18-minute speech. I didn't know, because your girl is not an academic researcher, a professor, a public speaker, that it had to be memorized. 18 minutes memorized. No teleprompter, no script, no notes, straight off the dome. 18 minutes. I've never memorized 18 minutes of talking in my life. Not even in like debate class.
But you're an actress.
But that's not the same.
Those are lines.
As a conversation is
true.
different.
Yes.
And so I was so nervous going into this TED Talk, y'all. So nervous. But I had that song as a performance in between the talk because it had to do with, communication and learning different styles of communication. And so I wanted to have the women with their different voices and different tones and styles to come in and sing with me. And so that song, that performance, that moment was a reprieve for me in the middle of 18 minutes of straight anxiety.
And you went to something that you're so comfortable in.
Yes. Yes, it was like a beat. It was a little beat. It was like, oh, let me collect myself and get back on the saddle and talk to these people because, believe it or not, I'm not much of a talker.
Well, I mean, look, when I think about that song, for example, that song, I want to get into your headspace. So where were you when you were developing that song for Superwoman? Because
you don't want to get into my headspace. It's a dark place.
Well, the song is pretty deep. It's very deep. And I think it says a lot to not only from a female country artist, a Latina country artist. I mean, there's so many things to have a superpower, right? I think my mom, right, is Superwoman herself. But where were you when you wrote that, and how did that come to fruition?
That's a great question, Tony. I'm glad you asked. No one's ever asked me about that writing session before, and it was really special. It was with my producer, Paul Mabry, who is a fellow Aussie. I say fellow because I married one, and he's known me since I was 17 years old. So he's known so many different iterations of me along my journey, and he invited a lovely songwriter who goes by the artist name of Ivory Lane to come in and join our session. And we're kind of, yeah, there, it was a great room. But I went in and I just felt like, guys, like, I'm not cool. I'm not great. I'm not winning at life right now. I don't know why I'm doing this. We all have those days where it's like, people see a background, they hear the mics, they see the applause, they do, they watch your videos and they think, gosh, that must be just so much fun, but they don't see the work and the setup and the production, and that you have to tear this down every day, and that you can pump out like 30 of these in a day. And it's like, you can get to the point where, you and your wife are carrying this thing, but you start stepping back and just questioning, like, why are we doing this? And there's so many dreams. When you're an ambitious person, you want your life to look a certain way. And a lot of times the reality is it doesn't look the way you imagine it could be. And so I was having one of those days.
Yeah, that was me today.
Okay,
I didn't want to
great.
be here.
So
I didn't want to be here today at all.
Right.
I woke up, I'm like, is this worth it?
That's right. And we have those days sometimes. We really do. And those are the moments where being surrounded by people, for you, maybe it's your wife, for me, my producer, and this incredible songwriter that day, who can look at you and go, there's a reason why you're doing this. And let me remind you of your why. And let me remind you of why this is important, and why communication and conversation and songwriting and storytelling is part of what makes our culture rich and deep, and it keeps it going, and don't give up. And so really those lyrics were born out of a conversation where my wonderful friends that day were convincing me to return to that little girl version of myself who just believed that I could do anything.
That you said a mouthful right there. I mean, there's a lot there to unpack. I'm going to go a little different route though.
Okay.
I'm going to go about New Life EP, the EP.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about the album cover, because the album cover is so cool. It almost looks like it was truly a painting that you took a picture of. I want to understand how and then also the Spanish version of it is a different image, same style of artistry. So I want to know, did you go into creating that EP like that already?
Yeah. So the Nice Life EP, I've always, when I broke down the lyrics of that song, I immediately pictured the short film. So the short film, the official music video, it's on YouTube. Go watch it. I directed it, I edited it, and I worked with an amazing team to go to El Paso, Texas.
Hey.
That's all the way down there, man. I mean, you throw a stone and you're in Juarez, Mexico. And that's where most of my family lives. And so I've always pictured the visuals of that song being in El Paso, Texas, and being about my family. And so the artwork was really an extension of that, because it's a photo by an incredible Nashville photographer named Robbie Klein. And he took this portrait that I was like, gosh, this is saying so much. And so we put the portrait in a frame that is what people use when they put up an ofrenda, or like an altar in homage or in honor of people who have passed, like relatives, loved ones that have passed. I put myself in there with a sombrero, the charro, and it, to me, the story of it was this represents all of my lost loved ones, my family, and this song, Nice Life, and this EP, Nice Life, is really a tribute to them.
There's just so much, because I wonder why all my favorite interviews literally today have been Latinos or a Latina, and everyone's able to go so deep. Honestly, it's so interesting to me because interviewing 7 people today, well, more than 7, but you get it, right? 7 that weren't Latino, Latina. The answers are never as deep. Is it because we're talking about something of our heritage where we're able to say, because we're able to put out this art, it's from years of people in our past that have tried to do something? I mean, here in Nashville, and I asked you last year, right? With you being Latino, me being Latino, I feel like Nashville is one of those towns where we're trying to express how rich our culture is and put it out into music. So I guess it's not really a question for you, but what do you think of that? That most of the people that have had the deepest answers that we can dive deeper into have all been land descent.
I mean, I think that there's a beautiful commonality that we share, right? Like when you come from the same culture, community, there's a shorthand that comes with that. And sometimes it takes a little bit more digging and a little bit more work to find what is that commonality that I share with someone who is from Wyoming, with someone who's from, what's the cold place?
Cold place, there's a lot.
What's the state that's really, really cold?
Montana?
The Vikings.
Iceland.
No, the football team.
Oh, Minnesota.
Minnesota.
What did you say? The
I
Vikings?
wanted
Hey,
to say-
Vikings are from.
Hey,
That was
the
close.
No, that's the Minnesota football team.
Yeah, but what did I say? Iceland.
Yeah,
Iceland
Iceland has real Vikings.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
But I specifically
Shout out to
say
Iceland.
I specifically say Minnesota because I've spent a lot of time in Minnesota. I've toured a lot in Minnesota in the winter. And it's like I don't understand how anyone would like choose to live there if they had the option to live somewhere else. But after I spent so much time with people who are so different from me, who come from different places, who have a different background, they're hosting me. I'm staying in their homes. We're having dinners together. Yeah, it takes a little more effort, but we're all the same. We all have the same heartbreaks and struggles and desires. And so, yes, for me, it's a beautiful opportunity to like play the set that I just played on the Chevy Vibe stage and, bring my mariachis out. But guess what? On the stage, I also have, CJ on pedal steel, and I also have Dylan playing guitar, and those are Nashville guys. And I have Chris Carabellis, who's from Greece, playing drums. And it's like, I think the beauty of what we get to do is go deep with people who are different, because when you get to the very bottom of our stories and what we're working through, what we're dealing with, it's not that different. We're struggling with the same stuff. We're hoping for the same stuff,
Clip that. 'Cause
Clip that.
That was amazing. Now, I mean, obviously, I could talk to you for a while, and I just want to ask you a couple of questions along the terms of music and where you would like to see your music go this year. Because writing sessions, I mean, I know you're also an actress. You do a lot of things. So where are you able to find time to do all these different areas?
Well, I think anyone who is wearing a lot of hats, there might be a mom who's watching this right now, right? And you have a lot of tasks to complete in a day while also needing to take care of yourself and be nurturing and love. There's so many tasks in a day. I think that having those like pillars that we come back to that are like, okay, when life is chaos, what are the things that I need to, where do I need to put my focus? And right now I might be in the middle of some of that, right? Like I'm doing these shows, I'm playing again for 4th of July. We're prepping to do a really cool show with Luke Casey. We're, doing all this really fun stuff with music, prepping to release the full length album in Q1 of next year, releasing singles this year.
Let's go.
Oh, my God. We debuted some new tracks on the CMA Fest stage a few moments ago, and they went really well. Can't wait for you to hear. But
That
I'm
makes
also
me very happy.
Oh,
by
I
the
can't
way.
wait for you to hear them.
That
You're
makes
gonna
me very
love
happy.
these songs. You're gonna love these songs. And then I'm also preparing for a film. And so yeah, when the days are full and the calendar looks like, as my friend Rafael Valdez recently told me, he's a for real charro.
all the names.
He's a
You
real
know 'em all.
charro, a real charro. He looked at my calendar and he was like, "This looks like a rainbow." Just like all
the different things?
Yeah. He's like, "This is a rainbow. I'm stressed out." To me, I go back to the things that matter. Family, time with my parents were literally here today. Drinking lots of water. Believe it or not.
Believe it.
Believe it or not.
Why our skin looks good.
That don't look at the zits on the right side. And getting rest, like real rest, like 8 hours. I'm an 8 hours a night girl, and if I'm not at that point, then things need to change. And having my moments of stillness and quiet in the morning to meditate, to pray, to journal. If I can keep those things intact, then I can weather any storm.
I love that. And I want to know, one more deep question here has to do with, what are you not compromising for anymore? Like 5 years ago, how different are you from today? And what is something that no matter what someone says, you're not compromising?
When it comes to making decisions on what I will and will not do, I choose to not negotiate my worth and my value with someone who's asking me for something. So I will not negotiate my value of myself stepping into a situation, being invited into an opportunity. You got to know who you are. You got to know what you're worth. And I think choosing to stand firm on the way that I value myself is how I'm stepping into rooms. It doesn't always mean that someone is going to reciprocate that or respect that, but I just don't compromise on what I feel I'm worth in a given scenario. It's like, it's not I don't think it's a higher than you self type of situation or ego. I think it's just, I know myself well enough to know that if I can fight for how I want to be treated in a certain work environment, it will benefit everybody. It will benefit the project. It'll benefit myself. I'll be bringing my most healthy and whole self to the table. So yeah, I'm trying not to compromise on that.
No, but dude, you tell me that you cannot do a TED Talk. I'm over here listening and getting lost in the voice.
Stop it!
I swear to God, that's
Stop
true.
it!
You need to do like a reading a book thing and an audio thing, dude. I was listening to it the whole time, and I was like, oh, this is. But
if you saw me in that green room after that TED Talk, I don't know if you'd be saying all that. I went into the room. I was like,
oh, you're crying.
I missed the line. I missed the bullet. I forgot that part.
Well, we're filming this right now in the middle of 2026 CMA Fest. I'm tired of only seeing you one time a year.
I know.
So let's make that happen.
Let's fix that.
Now, other than that, what can the fans expect from you, your music, your artistry, the rest of 2026, and maybe in the top of 2027? You already kind of hinted it.
Okay, 2026, my friends, mi familia, what you can expect is some really special live shows. So I will be coming to you across the country, even down to Mexico. So let's meet up in Mexico, because why not? You can also expect to hear the first couple of singles off of my full-length album coming out at the top of next year. And you can also expect some very exciting news about a film that I'm going to be a part of. And we'll probably deadline that later this year. And then lastly, I'm singing the closing title track on a really big feature film that's coming out around Christmas time. So we're going to have all kinds of Christmas vibes.
And you know what? I always look forward to seeing you. And
you too.
Let alone just seeing you, just being in your presence, listen to you talk, and just, like I said, we're not doing this year. I'm going to see you sometime this year. Yeah. We're going to hang out outside of all the cameras and flash and stuff, and all the 3 cameers we got.
Let's go get my grandma's favorite spicy margarita on 12 South.
Whatever you need, I got you. I got enough money to pay for it. Don't worry.
Oh, big spender, big spender.
My name is Tony Mendoza. We're still here in the heart of the Gulch, and I will see you guys next time. See y'all later.
Oh, it's so good. You crush it. You crush it every time.
If you want to check out the full performance, head over to our Heart of the Gulch YouTube page to get behind-the-scenes content, day-in-the-life clips, in-studio performances, and all of our Walk the Line episodes. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.